It's been a while since we talked about the 84 Mahasiddhas and the different systems that we know of and that are we can find examples of in art. we we know quite a bit about the Abhayadatta. The Abhayadatta system is actually Abhayakara the famous Vajrasana abbot, and we know a lot because of his Tibetan student, Tsame Lotsawa. And then we have and then that, of course, that system is going to be probably early 12th century, maybe a little bit more to heading towards the middle of the 12th century. Then we have the Vajrasana system. The Vajrasana system is based on a series of four-line verses to each of the 84 Mahasiddhas. And we don't really know who this Vajrasana is that they're referring to, but again, it's most likely an abbot of Bodh Gaya or Nalanda. Vajrasana was a common epithet or title for abbots of Bodh Gaya. Now, then we have a third system, and we've never really talked about it too much because it consists really of a text by a monk that goes by the name of Shrisena, and in Tibetan it's Palde, so this is the Shrisena out of Nepal, or the Palde system of 84 Mahasiddhas. And we really did not in the past have any real examples. What we had is we had a Tibetan text which appeared to be badly translated from, or maybe it wasn't even in Sanskrit or Newari. It was in Tibetan all along. So we have a text which just gives a very brief description of maybe the Mahasiddha's name, possibly a color, maybe whether or not there's an attendant or it's riding something, or it's standing in a certain posture. Okay, so it's a very short text, shorter than the Vajrasana text, and shorter than the text by Abhayakara, or more likely translated by Tsame Lotsawa into Tibetan, where it gives a very brief life story of the Mahasiddha, plus it can also include some tantric songs, Vajra songs. Now, the point here is the Hard team was doing some work on two paintings. One quite famous. It's 84 Mahasiddhas with a Virupa at the center, and then the other was actually a Vajradhara surrounded by the 84 Mahasiddhas. Now, these two paintings have different Mahasiddha figures than the Abhayadatta system or the Vajrasana. So they were outliers. But recently we've come to realize that the Virupa is basically coming out of Sakya. It has an inscription by Sakya Pandita on the back. The second painting looks like it's a Shalu painting as well. And so what we did early on is we called one of these Sakya Shalu system, and the other one the Buton Rinchen Drub system, because Buton is actually later than nearly 100 years later, or not quite 100 years later, after Sakya Pandita. So if Sakya Pandita truly put an inscription and a blessing on the back of the Virupa and Mahasiddha painting, then that would be earlier. But it's really become quite apparent now that both of these paintings, the Vajradhara and 84 Mahasiddhas of Shalu, and then the Virupa and 84 Mahasiddhas of more Sakya period, that they're based on the Shrisena system. So we actually have two paintings which we can now say really definitively are based on the Shrisena, the Palde system. So this is a bit of a breakthrough. We do, of course, have a fourth system, which we list, but we don't talk about very much, and that is the Padampa Sanggye system. Now, that's not a system of 84 Mahasiddhas. That's a system of 100, and then another system of 50. So it's quite different. So in terms of the 84 Mahasiddhas, in terms of written texts, we have the Abhayakara with biographies of the 84 Mahasiddhas. We have the Vajrasana, with a short 4-line verse for each Mahasiddha. And then we have the Shrisena, where we have one line of description for each. Now, in terms of paintings that we can find, these are the only 3 systems we have. Now, we do have mural systems, which we've talked about. We have the Gyaltse murals in the Magun, and then we have the Kunchokling cave in Upper Mustang, Drikung system in West Tibet, Ladakh, Dunhuang system in the cave in China, and then we have the another Alchi system, and these are all murals, and then the Alchi is also painted on the legs of the very tall Manjushri deity, one face, 4 arms. Actually a sculpture, and the 84 Mahasiddhas are painted on the legs, but those appear to be more Abhayadatta, but we need to do a little bit more research on them. So the point here today is that we really can say that 2 paintings that previously belonged to unknown systems, but more recently have been identified as being a Sakya, Shalu system of 84 Mahasiddhas, are really coming out of the Shrisena, but they're not identical to the Shrisena. There is enough similarity to say that the Shrisena is the basis for the 84 Mahasiddhas and how they appear numerically in the list and how they appear in the registers from top to bottom on the 2 known paintings that appear to follow the Shrisena. So we'll leave it there. You can press like, you can subscribe, you can join HAR on Patreon, and you can also make a donation on the homepage of Himalayan Art Resources.